our honey, guys, overflowing. So this is actually a really fun part right here. So this is with velvet, size 6, super bulky. It's from Royal Velvet Loops and Threads at Michael's and crafted by Catherine XL velvet yarn. And I want to go and show you the beautiful, intricate design that it can make with this texture. It comes out really, really pretty. So either you're doing it in that brand texture or regular chunky yarn. Now I'm showing you that we can start, you can start anywhere. So with the velvet, I started more on the edge line. You can start more closer to the center. It's going to be more surface crocheting, bringing these long foundation chains. That's basically what it is, all the way down to spill over the honey pot. Or you can start at about midpoint, right where I'm doing it. So we are going to be pulling a loop through. We want a nice tail hanging out because that tail we're going to be tucking it in for security. And so just about right there where I'm starting it. And I'm going to be poking in that tail right there with some hot glue for security. Now I told you this is surface crocheting, basically making a foundation chain. So I pulled a loop through and then now a loop just beneath it, a stitch just beneath it. I'm pulling another loop through and now I'm going to take that same loop I just did and pull it through the previous one. So basically making a foundation chain. And so I'm going to keep doing this same pattern, taking the next preceding vertical stitch or horizontal stitch, going downwards, pulling a loop through, and then taking that same loop I just did and pulling it through the previous one. And so now we're going right over the border now, the rim. Again, curving it right under, taking that loop and pulling it right through the previous loop. And the way you design it, you start curving like the honey is spilling. It's not a perfect spill. It's simply by just taking a stitch over on the honey pot, taking a stitch over so you can start curving the honey, the spillage. And then you can skip a stitch and pull like 2 stitches down. So a nice longer loop you're gonna have to pull. So only skip a stitch, only 1 stitch, so about 2 stitches down you can go. But it's really taking that next precedent stitch. Pull your working yarn through, pull that loop right to the previous loop. Now I don't want to go too low with this first one, so you can really just start designing it. You can go really low, you can go just a little ways, and then the second foundation chain will be a longer spill, a longer overflow of the honey. And that's it, guys. Nothing else to it. It is surface crocheting. So now we're going back up. So now do you see how I am pulling this working yarn? I'm curving it around a stitch on the honey pot. And I'm going to take that loop and pull it through the previous loop. So it's going to give it a nice textured look. With regular chunky yarn, a nice textured, naturally weavy, imperfect spill. As you can see, like the edge line of the foundation chain, it's bumpy. It's like, creating the rigid edge line of your honey being overflowed. And so that's the beauty right here with regular chunky yarn. It's going to be very textured, very surface crocheted design. But if you want to use more of the teddy bear variation yarns like fluffy chenille or bonnet frosted or faux fur, it's going to be more of just a big plush, really beautiful design. But I want to go and show with the regular chunky yarn too. Do you see how the edge line of the honey, it's naturally waved and bumpy? So that's what I'm talking about. So now you can also start taking the honey stitches and using those to loop. And so it's gonna look more bulky like that, like it's really overflowing in that one spot. And remember, if you don't like it, simply undo your work. Pull on the working yarn all the way down to the point where you want to start all over again. And I did that too, guys. I just edited out because you're drawing with yarn. So it's just like a pencil. You're going to need to erase. And so just think of it like that. You're drawing with yarn or coloring with yarn like a crayon. But you're gonna need to erase at some points. Especially when you're freestyling it. When you're truly just going, okay, I'm gonna curve it here, curve it there, bring it down this point. It's truly fun because you are drawing with yarn. The honey pot is our canvas. So I'm going to bring it all the way up back to the point where I started. So look how pretty that is. You can honestly just have one overflow spill done. But look at the bumpy texture. So very textured right there. It's, looking really like an imperfect, the edge line of the foundation chain. Like the honey, it is spilling. It is coming down. It looks realistic. So now notice how I keep pulling my loops through onto the honey pot. I'm curving it around. It's office security and full coverage, but it's yellow on yellow right here, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm visually showing you that you want to curve as you're pulling these loops on the honey pot stitches. Be curving it around. So see, I curved it right under. And now I'm taking that loop and pulling it through the previous loop. So I'm trying to keep it close here. Maybe I can leave a little bit of a gap or no gap. So leave a little bit of the blue rim or don't show the blue rim. I am truly designing this honey pot with you guys on camera. I am truly freestyling it right now. No blueprint. I'm just going for it and just drawing. So again, taking a stitch on the honey pot, curving this working yarn around, or at some points you could be tucking it in, just as you see me doing, just tuck it right in on the side. And then pull that loop right to the previous loop. You can leave a little bit of space to show the rim. Give some nice pretty coloration right there. Or you can just blot it all with overflowing honey. And then again, to start curving it, you take a stitch on the side now. On the side, do not go down any further down. Start taking the stitches, a vertical stitch or horizontal stitch on the side. And that is pretty much it, guys. We are basically creating a foundation chain, and that is what surface crocheting is. It is called surface crocheting because you're knitting on the surface. And then the crocheting is because you're taking a loop and you're pulling it through a previous loop. And so that is a crocheting technique. So that's why we can call this surface crocheting or hand crocheting. But that is pretty much it. So you see how I'm going to poke in the yarn, the working yarn right through the side. Pull a nice good loop, take that loop, pull it to the previous loop. And that's it. And just look how pretty it naturally makes the edge line of the foundation chain. It just helps, brings out a pretty imperfection of like realistic honey coming down. It's not a straight ruler line because that wouldn't even look right. But look at that. So it looks really nice. And then play around with it. take a stitch on the honey pot, pull it through. Take a honey stitch, the yellow stitch, pull it through a yellow stitch to make it bulky up right there, like a lot of honey overflowing. Don't like it, undo it, pull in the working yarn. And so, just like a pencil with an eraser. But that is the whole tutorial. And so that's why I wanted to very much make this free and to expose what surface crocheting is. Drawing with yarn like a pencil or coloring with yarn like a crayon. And so right here, guys, I'm really truly debating on where I want to curve this. Do I want to take a blue stitch, the rim, or do I want to take a yellow stitch, the honey? And so again, I'm just really freestyling it right here. And then once you're done, you're simply, just as how we started, you're going to cut a couple of inches tail, poke it through the last loop that you just made, and then pull it tight, lock it down tight, and then do a couple of knots, no knots, tuck it in. And I would use hot glue, some kind of extra security. I do not show that part, guys, because when I was editing, I took a lot out and deleted it. By the time I realized that I need to get that back, it was already permanently gone. So, like I said, cut a long tail or a couple of inches tail, weave it through the last loop, pull it down tight, and then tuck in that tail. Done. But I would very much use some kind of extra security. And so I'm showing you, you can keep going all the way around or just for one small section. I hope this was easy, guys. Thank you so much. And you love your overflowing honey pots. It's a really cute concept and it goes perfect with Winnie the Pooh.
Don't forget to grow up and live happily ever after and stay as sweet as honey forever.